Hey Jeff, how you doing today?
Great, JJ. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. Hey, I wanted to ask you before we start talking about practice. You guys did that UTSA Giving Day these last few days. I saw you had a role in that. How would you say things went for the program?
I haven't had a chance to speak to Dr. Compost about that. I know there's a lot of effort and energy put into it. I haven't even checked the results yet. So I really couldn't answer that honestly. But I'm fixing to meet with her as soon as we're done, and we're fixing to tour the race facility together, and I'm sure she'll give me an update.
Along the lines with the race facility, just can you describe the excitement as it's getting closer? It seems like it's almost we're around the corner from that.
And we're trying hard to not think about it too much, but it's just natural. You see it go up every day, and something about putting that orange on the building really made it jump out, and that was exciting. I don't know why when we saw it turn to orange, and it's just getting prettier and prettier every day. And our kids, I hear them talking about it. They're really excited about it. And there's just so many things that people don't realize have gone on here for 10 years. I mean, we all share like one meeting room. So the O-line meets over here. The tight ends meet here, running backs here, receivers there, secondary, corners, defensive ends. We're all down here together. So you can imagine 8 coaches talking at the same time in the same room. And there's just so much going to be – it's the worst condition you could ever have for teaching young men. 8 different voices in the same room. So there are other things other than just the dynamics of how beautiful the building is. The practicality of how to teach people is going to be so much better.
Hey, Greg.
Jeff, the school yesterday also announced this partnership with UT Health San Antonio. It seems like it's going to change some things about sports medicine. I'm just wondering if you've thought about, what impact that has on the program, or if you know anything about what that arrangement's going to do for you guys.
No, sir, I really don't. That decision was, way above my head. And I know Dan Bellamy and Nick will keep me right on whatever that is. So I really do try to stay in my lane on that kind of stuff, Greg. And, I have hard enough time running the football program, much less trying to start getting into sports medicine. So I'll let Dan and Nick take care of me on that.
All right. Well, I know you're on top of this one. We just talked to Sincere. I'm just wondering, what have you seen from him, and what jumps out about his spring so far?
He's just really shaping his body up. He's very committed. All of us were making a real conscious effort. I thought we looked pudgy last year. I didn't think we looked like we were a very, conditioned ball club, especially early in the year. We almost had the collapse, in game 1. The heat got to us, and I thought that was lack of conditioning. So we really, we added extra time. We pushed spring ball back intentionally. Because of it, we really pushed what to eat, proteins and carbs and vegetables, and what does that look like, and what should their diet look like. We've really worked hard. I have a big mantra that I'm not the most important coach in their life. They're the most important coach in their life. I'm with them, 2 to 4 hours a day. They're with themselves 24 hours a day. So I would say his body, he's really worked hard at trying to slim up, lean up, so he can pick up a little more top end speed. If you study those running backs in the National Football League, the ones they draft, they're usually elite sprinters. They run very fast. There are guys that make it in the league that are not the top speed guys, but most of those draft picks are the top speed guys.
Yeah, he was just telling us that he felt like, I think his words were, a fat guy at the start of the year. Did you see a big difference in him as the season went along, and how much of a process was that?
Well, he said it, not me, right? So I thought all of us were a little pudgy, including the head coach, just from being laid up with COVID. And we've all tried to work at it, coaching staff included, try to lean up a little bit, come back in better shape. And I'm really excited because we're going to get these 15 practices, then we're going to get a summer session, then we're going to get a fall camp, and then we go to Illinois. Where last year, you know how that was. It was just, here it is. And but I was very proud of how we played and how clean we were in spite of all that training or lack of training.
And for Sincere, do you see a big difference now versus just the start of last season? I think he said he's like at least 5 pounds lighter or so.
He's just more mature. I can tell that him having a daughter, legacy, him thinking about how he's going to provide for her, that just puts a different dynamic when you're a young man. I was a father at a young age. I was probably 23, 24 when we had Jordan. So I know how I changed immediately the day Jordan was born. Sincere as a young man. And the moment that baby's born, there's something that just changes in a man because you realize everything is dependent on you now. And I think he feels that. And I just see tremendous maturity and wisdom. And just like I'm coaching him. He's always been easy to coach, don't get me wrong, but he's even an easier version to coach.
You mentioned, and he mentioned as well, kind of wanting to get faster and to use the spring to do that. How do you chase that goal? Like, how does a player get faster?
Well, it's really pretty simple. You got to sprint. You got to run fast to be fast. You can't go jogging. You can't go stay on a treadmill. You got to sprint. You got to do some resistance training. You got to become more flexible. You got to become stronger. You got to become leaner. So we're really, really working hard on resistance training. We're working hard on flexibility, range of motion, body fat, and we're sprinting a lot. We know it. There's a reason I spread our practices out the way we do. I won't follow a bill to keep training these guys. So, we always have an off day. So it makes our week a little long. So we got to practice on Saturdays, but it's worth it to me for our guys to recover so they can be with Philo and get in the video room as well and learn the finer points of the game.
And we talked about the strength and conditioning component, but how much easier is it to manage the diet side of that too when they're actually kind of on campus and around the program versus last year where everybody was kind of on their own at this time?
So much better. I'm not going to drop any names. We've got some guys, that played well for us last year that came in 30 to 35 pounds overweight. That's hard to get rid of. We had guys playing through the whole season at 15 to 20 pounds overweight. Body fat's just through the roof as far as our percentage, just too much. And it's a miracle we didn't get injured more than we did get injured. So you're exactly right. Us being able to monitor that and just talk to them about it. I really believe that they made all of us take our shirts off and none of us ever could wear a shirt. We'd all eat differently. But if I can cover this thing. I got on 2 layers today. I got on an undershirt and I can cover up some stuff, right? So I make our guys, we take a picture of them with no shirt on when we start, and we're going to take one when we're done. And that's a tremendous motivating factor for a young man that they have a 6-pack and not what their head coach is rocking over here.
And then a last thing for me, I want to ask about Rashad, just because I think we're going to talk to him here in a minute. He obviously had a huge season last year, but what can he sort of accomplish or do this spring to continue to take steps forward?
Early in the year, he tackled with his head down too much. That's something that's been a point of emphasis for him. He got a lot better at that as the year went on. Just seeing what he hits, it's something we're working on. We talk about it all the time with him. And that's something, again, his body composition. We're going to work on that for his speed as well. And I haven't spoken to him as much about it as I have Sincere, because Sincere has come to me and he really has talked to me in depth about what I want him to work on. When Rashad gets back to, full speed, he's starting to practice more and more each day. I'll talk to him more about, his body composition, his flexibility, range of motion, his speed. To me, they're very, very similar creatures. Their body types are similar. Their IQ and character, how they love football, their passion for the game, they're very similar, Sincere and Rashad. So that'll be a similar point of emphasis on Rashad as it is with Sincere.